The Bold and the Beautiful B&B. Spoilers recap for Thursday, September 26, reveals that Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline Messinswood, stood by her claim that she wouldn't play matchmaker, but she still hinted to Hope Logan, Annika Noel, that her parents often found their way back to each other. Steffy insisted Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, didn't come back to pursue Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, since she wouldn't target a relationship like that. Even so, Steffy suggested no one had a crystal ball and implied that Ridge would end up back with Taylor. Hope, on the other hand, didn't think anything or anyone would come between Ridge and Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang. In the Forrester CEO office, Brooke found Ridge with his arm around Taylor and wondered if she was interrupting, but they insisted she wasn't. Taylor suddenly touched her chest like she was having some issues and seemed to be in a hurry to leave. However, Taylor said it was nice seeing Ridge and Brooke so happy before adding that they had a lot to look forward to. Brooke could tell that Taylor wasn't quite herself and questioned Ridge after his ex left. Ridge hadn't noticed and assumed Taylor was overjoyed to be back with her family like she claimed. If that was true, Brooke asked why Taylor wasn't happier. In the design office on Thursday's B&B episode, Taylor caught up with Steffy and offered updates on her nice talk with Ridge. Steffy seemed intrigued, but she admitted she just spoke to Hope about this and vowed she wouldn't play matchmaker. That said, it was hard for Steffy since she knew Ridge was Taylor's true love. Taylor admitted that she'd always loved Ridge, but she'd accepted that he was with Brooke now and said Steffy should too. As Taylor looked at a photo of Brooke and Ridge together, she insisted their future was bright and that they had a long life ahead of them. Steffy seemed a little pensive over the comment as she stood nearby. Meanwhile, Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, was still at Forrester Creations when he took a phone call from Donna Logan, Jennifer Gareis, who was trying to set him up with a girl. Will ran into RJ Forrester, Joshua Hoffman, who didn't seem thrilled about the news that Bill Spencer's, Don Diamond, son might come to work with the Forresters. Will also asked questions about Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, the lunatic, and seemed surprised over her being able to fool RJ, so there was some tension. At Bill's mansion, he made a pitch to Katie Logan, Heather Tong, about putting their family back together and assured her that this wasn't a rebound. Bill never even would have gotten together with Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, if Katie hadn't rejected him first. Will walked in on Bill's speech and assumed his dad wanted Katie back. Bill took full responsibility for breaking up their family and said Will had every right to be protective of his mother. That said, Bill felt he wasn't the same man anymore and that he'd learned some valuable lessons. Once Bill made it clear that he wouldn't disappoint Katie and Will again, he pushed them to get on board with reuniting as a family. Will asked if that was what Katie wanted, but she seemed uncomfortable and shifted gears. Katie said she was so happy Will was home and that they all had a chance to spend time together, so she didn't want anything to ruin it. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Bill will have to work harder if he wants the reunion of his dreams, so we'll pass along more romantic predictions as this story moves along. CDL will have other sizzling Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so visit us often for more B&B details. The September 26 episode of The Bold and the Beautiful brought a mixture of nostalgia, unresolved tension, and family dilemmas. Relationships were pushed to the forefront as old flames and familiar faces stirred up a whirlwind of emotions for the characters. Brooke Logan's lingering suspicions, Steffy Forrester's protective nature, and Bill Spencer's relentless pursuit of family unity created a dramatic yet heartfelt installment. The episode opened with Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline Messinswood, defending her decision not to play matchmaker between her parents. Hope Logan, Annika Noel, however, seemed curious when Steffy hinted that Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, and Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, often found themselves gravitating back toward one another. Steffi was quick to clarify that Taylor hadn't returned to LA with any intention of reigniting a romantic relationship with Ridge. Despite this, Steffi pointed out that life is unpredictable, implying that Ridge and Taylor's story might not be over just yet. Steffi's insight led to an interesting discussion between the two women. Hope remained adamant that no external factors, whether it was Taylor or anyone else, could ever come between Ridge and Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang. Hope's unwavering belief in her mother's relationship with Ridge was evident, but Steffi's subtle remarks suggested that a deeper, perhaps inevitable, connection between her parents could resurface. This brewing tension between belief and possibility created a sense of uncertainty over Ridge's future. Meanwhile, in the Forrester Creations CEO office, Brooke walked in on Ridge and Taylor in an intimate moment. Ridge had his arm around his ex-wife. Although the interaction seemed innocent enough, Brooke couldn't help but feel unsettled. Taylor's behavior quickly raised Brooke's suspicions. In a moment of unease, Taylor clutched her chest as if she were experiencing discomfort. Though she brushed it off and assured Ridge and Brooke that she was fine, her hasty departure and cryptic remark left Brooke with lingering doubts. Before leaving, Taylor mentioned how happy she was to see Ridge and Brooke together and spoke vaguely about the future, saying they had a lot to look forward to. Brooke, sensing something off, later questioned Ridge about Taylor's mood. Ridge dismissed Brooke's concerns, believing Taylor was simply excited to be back with her family. However, Brooke's intuition told her otherwise. If Taylor was so happy, why did she seem so distant? This clue sparked a feeling in Brooke that perhaps Taylor's return wasn't as straightforward as it seemed. In another touching scene, Taylor met with her daughter Steffi to talk about her earlier conversation with Ridge. Taylor described the interaction as a nice talk, though Steffi's curiosity was clearly piqued. Despite her interest, Steffi reiterated her earlier vow not to meddle in her parents' love lives. Nevertheless, Steffi confessed how difficult it was to refrain, especially knowing how deeply her mother loved Ridge. Taylor was candid with Steffi, acknowledging that her love for Ridge would never fade, but she had come to terms with the fact that he was now with Brooke. Taylor expressed that, just like Steffi, she had to accept the situation as it was. As Taylor gazed at a photograph of Ridge and Brooke together, she commented on their future, adding that they still had a long life ahead of them. Steffi's pensive reaction to her mother's words suggested that she wasn't as sure about the permanence of Ridge and Brooke's relationship as Taylor claimed to be. Was Steffi sensing an underlying tension between her parents, or was she quietly hoping that things might change in the future? Back at Forrester Creations, the drama wasn't limited to the Forrester family. Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, Bill Spencer's Don Diamond son, was also causing a stir. Will had been working at Forrester Creations and was engaged in a conversation with Donna Logan, Jennifer Gary's, about potential romantic setups. However, when Will crossed paths with R.J. Forrester, Joshua Hoffman, things took a slightly tense turn. Arch wasn't thrilled about Will's budding involvement with the Forresters, especially since it came on the heels of his own complicated feelings about Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada. Will seemed both curious and surprised about Luna's ability to outsmart RJ, a tension that hinted at potential conflicts down the line. While this subplot bubbled in the background, the real emotional center of the episode shifted to Bill Spencer and his ongoing efforts to reunite his family. At Bill's mansion, the stakes were high as Bill made an impassioned plea to Katie Logan, Heather Tom. He wanted to bring their family back together and insisted that his feelings were genuine. Bill acknowledged that he had made mistakes in the past, including his short-lived relationship with Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, which he framed as a rebound after Katie rejected him. As Bill delivered his heartfelt pitch to Katie, Will walked in, catching the tail end of his father's speech. Will quickly realized that Bill wanted to reunite with Katie, a revelation that sparked concern for their son. Bill took full responsibility for the breakdown of their family and reassured Will that he had changed. He was no longer the same man who had hurt Katie in the past. Bill's vulnerability and determination to make things right with Katie tugged at the audience's emotions. He made it clear that he wouldn't let Katie or Will down again. However, when Will turned to his mother and asked if she wanted to reunite with Bill, Katie's discomfort was palpable. Rather than directly answering the question, Katie shifted the conversation, emphasizing how happy she was that their son was home and how important it was for them to spend time together as a family. Katie's reluctance left the future of her relationship with Bill hanging in the balance.